How we built a beef business on just 6 acres with 4 steers and then scaled up. So, this is our story, but it just goes to show that you can start small and then grow. You don't have to find 50 acres, 100 acres, 200 acres from the get go. You just have to start. So, how to start a beef business on 6 acres. So we started on 6 acres with 4 steers. And if you think how much actual land was available for the steers, it was probably closer to four because we had the barns and the house and the garden, and we had an arena, we had horses. So the actual paddocks for the cows was probably closer to 4 acres. We did lease two 10-ish acre grazing parcels, but we started with just 4 steers. And by the time we moved here to this ranch, we were running 23 head, 23 head on 6 acres, plus some grazing. But they would all come home in the winter, and they'd be on haylage and whatever else. But we grew enough on those 6 acres to buy the ranch where I am sat now. And then this enabled us to literally quit our jobs and raise cattle full time. It enabled us to buy this property. So even though we had zero, pretty much zero farm ranching experience, we were able to start on 6 acres and leave our full-time jobs and raise cattle full time. I do have some pictures. So, this is our little 6 acres. There's one of our paddocks that we were leasing. It was just our next door neighbors. So we would just push them through the fence. This is one of the I guess a sacrifice area, but there is just a couple of cows and a wee calf. This is another one. This is the actual garden, and our kids are playing with the calves. And I think I have one more of what it was like. Let me see. Then here we go. This is one of the this is the horse field. So the horses had grazing too. So we did a lot on our little six acres. And then now, like, this is where we are now. Like, we have 520 odd acres, and that mountain range behind us is our range. So we have a 20,000 acre range lease that we lease every year. Let me just hide that one and bring up this one. This is in our going towards the cash pen. This is just one of the paddocks that we push the feeders through all summer. Here's another one. Lovely green grass, mountains, sunshine. So this is now. But we started on just 6 acres. And you can too. So basically, we went to the auction and we got 4 Hereford steers, and we stuck them in a field. And at that time, we were not grass fed and finished. We are now, but back then it was whatever we could do to finish the cattle. So we were using brewer's grain from like micro breweries because it's free. So we were buying in haylage and dry alfalfa, and then we were bringing in brewer's mash to feed these 4 steers. We just had to go and pick it up. But by the time we were processing, we kept one for ourselves that went in our freezer, and we sold 3. So those 3 that I sold by, I think I went down to an eighth. Our butcher was a good friend, so he did an eighth. So we did eighths, quarters, sides. I don't think we did any wholes at that point. And I sold them all super fast. So they were in, finished, processed, and out. And this is kind of easy. Let's do it again. So this was 12 years ago, 11 years ago. This was in 2015. But we did it again and again and again. We got steers. We had them on our pastures, leased pastures, brought them home, processed, and sold. To the point where when we finally were able to buy this ranch, we moved here with 23 head from our little 6 acres. And then selling beef direct to consumer was our sole source of income. So at that point, it was literally raising, buying, selling, processing cattle. So how did we do that? We used the free tools available to us. They're available to you too. And that number one free tool is social media. So this is our ranch Instagram page. This is where I get pretty much all my customers. So there's our Instagram. Here is our Facebook. And you need to use these free tools. They're free. They're 100% free. You don't have to run ads. You can run ads. You don't have to run ads. But this is where you're going to find all your customers. You can use Facebook groups, but it's better to use your own page and really target the customers you need. I will teach you how to do that. We will teach you how to identify customers, target customers, and get them into your world so that they can make a purchase. But it all starts from social media. This right here. We also pre-sell. We pre-sell everything. We never process unless we know that that animal is sold. There is nothing worse than having a freezer full of beef you can't sell. Comment below, let me know, do you have a freezer full of beef you can't sell? Because I can show you how to move that fast, but also how never to have that problem ever again. But for now, the next video is how we saved our ranch from foreclosure. So we'd built everything from scratch. We had sold the 6 acres, bought the ranch I'm at now, and then all hell broke loose and we almost lost everything. So none of it really mattered because we hit this breaking point. And how do you come back from that? Well, I will show you. So click the next video and I will show you exactly how we saved our ranch from foreclosure by selling direct to consumer. And we are now doing over $1 million in beef sales every single year.